Hello, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And actually, the inauguration chart I was analyzing the other day, it inspired me to make a video on 29 degree in astrology. If you remember, then in the inauguration chart, we have got the moon on 29 degree. And 29 degree is something which is always carrying some type of karmic flavor. That's what probably you're going to be reading online, but 29 degrees, so much more than that. Another reason why I wanted to make a video on this, because I think this is something you cannot find much information online. So I thought I would be sharing my experience and studies on this topic. So a sign is made of 30 degrees, and 29 degrees called an anaretic degree, but it is more than that. So some of the ancient ways to approach certain things were quite dogmatic. And maybe we should not be looking at it as a horrible point in the chart. Historically, the final or the anaretic degree of the sign, which starts from 29 degrees 0 minutes to 29:59, has been associated with some dark and difficult interpretations. By the way, the word anaretic itself is rooted in killer or the destroyer. And one of the reasons why they believed that these degrees are not really healthy, because if you look at the Egyptian terms, the very last few degrees always ruled by a malefic planet, which is Mars or Saturn. Now, the classical interpretation of this degree is talking about endings and losses. We also believe that it is a karmic degree, which is kind of indicating a last chance to fix some of the area of your life which you might not have been very good at in previous lives, or even at an early stage of your life. It is something which hasn't been fulfilled in previous lives, and you basically receiving another shot to work with it. So firstly, 29 degrees, almost a new sign, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we need to consider the planet in the next sign, or it will merge with the following signs carrying those qualities as well. However, what we can say safely, or we can make a statement about it, is that the person is going to be trying to push the boundaries. So anyone who has got a planet on the 29 degree can be a risk taker. The person might want to see how far they can go, how much they are limited, how much they can stretch out. So these people tend to have quite a few futuristic way of thinking as well. So they might have got great foresight. I've seen 29 degree being actually very dominant in in famous people's chart, especially when it comes to business opportunities. These people are given kind of a unique talent at an early age of their life, and they might, or actually they might have gone through a rough childhood as well. But somehow the childhood is always emphasized within the native's life. Basically, the soul wanted to mature quick enough so that it has got time to focus on their karmic duties. Actually, a 29 degree planet can also indicate a unique circumstance around childbirth. 29 degrees so much to do with karmic experiences in the family. And I've spoken about family karma in one of my webinars for at least 7 hours. And 29 degree, as I said, is typically associated with karma. So usually these people have got a mission in regards to family. Of course, the 29 degree has its shadow side as well, especially if the native cannot really assimilate themselves with the sign. In most cases, these people are quite lonely, but they feel purposeful and they know that they must do something on their own. So another interesting fact about the signs, which you might not be reading about quite often, but each sign can be divided into 2.5 units. So for instance, if we talk about Aries, then the first 2.5 degrees is associated with Aries, then followed by Taurus. Excuse me. So the very last 2.5 degree of the Aries is associated with Pisces. So if you have got a planet on 29 degree in the sign of Aries, then that planet tends to be carrying some Piscean flavor with it. Or if you examine, for instance, Pisces, then the first 2.5 degree is going to be Pisces related, followed by Aries and so forth. So the very last 2.5 degree is going to be Aquarian flavor. So if you have got a planet on 29 degree of Pisces, then the planet tends to be acting in an Aquarian way as well. So basically that degree carries the preceding sign's energy. So another example, if you have got a planet on 29 degree of Libra, then the very last few degrees are Virgo territories. So if you, for instance, have got Mars there, Mars can act like a Virgo energy. Also, 29 degree is very prominent in your solar return chart as well. So if someone is not aware of what solar return chart means, basically once a year the sun returns to its natal position, which is going to be marking how the year is going to be unfolding for you, the upcoming year. And if you were to discover a 29 degrees somewhere in your solar return chart, then usually those talk about some turning point in your life in the next upcoming year. Another reason why 29 degrees are interesting because it is in between two signs. So the person can have kind of a fairy tale, Cinderella type of syndrome going on, or maybe they want to be staying in the shadow, or it is also like a little bit of a Mercury energy who rules twilight, because Mercury never meets the sun and the moon at the same time. If you start looking at that, the preceding sign of Virgo is Pisces, so Virgo and the moon would not have any coloration. Mercury and the sun wouldn't have any coloration. And exactly the same with Gemini, because it's followed by Cancer. So there is no major aspect going on between those two signs either. So, and Mercury rules the twilight. So the 29 degree also has got a little bit of a twilight zone experience. Usually these people need to learn something about spirituality. They have got a must be done type of feeling. So in regards to that house topic. So I'll give you an example. For instance, Donald Trump has got his rising sign on an erratic degree. So it means that he has got a mission to accomplish, and his rising sign is in Leo. So he needs to accomplish something in a Leo style. And Leo is all about business and leadership, kingdom. But this is also reinforced in his chart, by the way, by having the Sun and the North Node in conjunction in the 11th house. So we tend to be over compensating with 29 degrees. So the danger of the 29 degree is that we can fall into a trap. And for instance, if you have a look at his chart in 2015, June 15th, basically he had his transit in Saturn, which was squaring his ascendant on 29 degree. And next day he announced that he was running for presidency. And also what was interesting about this period is that a month later, his progress sun was also on 29 degree of Leo, where his rising sign is. So probably he felt a karmic push to accomplish something in a Leo style. So we also call the 29 degree planets as soul planets. They tend to be the most mature and the most natural energy for us. So that's also one of the reasons why people with 29 degree tends to feel that they have got a mission on this planet. But then again, we should not be forgetting that these planets are prone to crises as well and sudden changes. There are more critical degrees in astrology. So for instance, in cardinal signs 13 and 26 degree and 0 degree are also critical ones. However, I'm not going to talk about them in detail, maybe in the next video, because today I just wanted to focus on the 29 degree. There is so much to say about it anyway. So let's just have a look at very briefly what each planet on the 29 degree could indicate. So if you have got the sun on 29 degree, which is ruling over your identity, it shows who you need to become. It's your soul mission planet. It shows who you really, truly are. So it could indicate that someone who might be struggling to be true to themselves, and they have to master somehow their position in life, and they have to achieve some type of authority figure energy. The moon, which is ruling over your emotions. So having moon on 29 degree can show someone who might be struggling with their emotions, or they want to be controlling their emotions, or it's hard for them to expose what they feel. So these people need to learn how to focus on their emotions, how to express their feelings, and not necessarily kind of building an anger within themselves. Mercury, which is ruling over communication and your mind. So having Mercury on 29 degree can show that someone is going to be struggling to communicate clearly. And they might be struggling to trust their mind, and even it could show some type of learning disabilities as well, especially at the early ages. Also, it indicates that they have to learn how to overcome their mistakes. They don't have to blame themselves, or they need to learn from their past mistakes. When you have got Venus on 29 degree, which is the planet of love, so it could show that someone might be struggling to form a relationship or to relate to others, or actually having a healthy love life. I have seen Venus on 29 degree choosing people who might be wrong for them. And actually they knew about it, but they wanted to belong to someone. So they need to learn about their values and to value themselves as well. When you have got Mars on 29 degree, which is the planet of drive and energy, passion and desire, it could indicate that someone at the beginning of their life gonna have very little energy, or they are going to be overly aggressive or overly pacifists. They might not know how to take charge or how to actually embrace their anger. So they need to learn about it, not to be that impulsive. Probably these natives need to work on developing confidence for themselves, creating a self-esteem, and probably learning how to be assertive without being aggressive, though. Then you might have got Jupiter on 29 degree, which is the planet of optimism and expansion. So having Jupiter on 29 degree indicates that this native needs to learn how to do things in moderation, because Jupiter tends to be going overboard. It's a very greedy planet. It could be quite stingy as well. So 29 with Jupiter on 29 degree, you need to learn how to expand your horizon, explore new possibilities. Having Saturn on 29 degree, which is the planet of restriction, obstacles, responsibilities, the test life is throwing at us, but also this is the planet of success as well. So it indicates that someone needs to accept, according to the sign, responsibility. Rather than being pessimistic, they need to be putting time, effort, money into something according to the sign and the house position so that they could succeed in life. Having Uranus on 29 degree, which is new concepts, very original way of thinking, eccentric, rebellion type of energy. So they need to learn not to be afraid of unconventional things. These natives tend to somehow be traditional as well, or they don't want to be doing unconventional things. Or maybe they even don't have the clue how to live in the real world. So sometimes they feel that they don't fit the mold. So you need to learn how to embrace what makes you a unique person, but also at the same time embracing traditions as well, and probably being open to different type of lifestyles. Having Neptune on the 29 degree, which is, by the way, the planet of dreams and subconscious and illusions. So having him on 29 degree can show that someone who wants to run away far from reality, and they can get lost in their illusions or fantasies. Or they do the opposite and they completely reject their imaginative sides. So they need to embrace that they are highly creative. And last but not least, having Pluto on 29 degree, which is the planet of transformation, power, control, manipulation, it could show that someone is very rigid and they resist the resist changes. They can get stuck in perpetual change that keeps going and going. They can focus way too much on the bad things which happen in their life. So they need to learn how to act more quickly. They don't need to get stuck in the past. So let me know if you've got any 29 degree planet and how does that manifest in your life. I think this is definitely an area where we can do some research and we can expand our knowledge. Don't forget that the sign is going to be something which is going to tell you how the planet is playing its energy, and the house position is going to tell you what area of life. Of course, if there are any aspects, those are going to be counted as well. Oh, and I also wanted to mention that for instance, in Horary, 29 degree means, because the planet is not going to be making any more aspect, it indicates that something is stale, it's not moving. And it usually indicates that maybe once the circumstances are changing, then something is going to be changing according to your question as well. Now, in natal chart, it also indicates that you need to change something if you want that planet to move forward and bring you some goodies. So that was Victor's analysis on 29 degree astrology. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then please press like. Also, push the notification bell so you can get more educational videos from me. Thank you very much, and see you very shortly with another episode. Have a blessed week. Bye-bye.